Hello everybody, this is the Rabid Hedgehog, and now I am on the 2016 Victory Cross Country Touring, which includes the back seat and trunk and everything, unlike the regular cross country, which is just a bagger. Let's see here, and also a shorter windshield. Looking at the controls here, fairly standard Victory affair is what I'm starting to learn. On the right hand side, of course, you got the typical shut-off power systems and all that. Cruise control, throttle by wire, or actually this is not throttle by wire, this is actually throttle by cable with the cruise control. As you can see, just right there is how you control it. Here's the radio controls and everything like that. Move up here real fast. So far, this is kind of like what your Harley-Davidson Street Glide would be like from Victory. 106, just like all the Victories that there are, except for the Impulse and the soon-to-be announced one, Obsidian or something like that. Can't remember what they called it. So that particular bike will be coming out here pretty dang soon. It's going to be pretty much an Indian Scout. This particular bike here, as you can see up front, you got your gas light, gas light, brights, all that good stuff here. I'm not looking for a heel toe, and I found out there's no heel toe on this one either, kind of like the Vision. So anyway, gas lights, turn signals, ABS identification, and all that stuff up there in the light pod. And then you got your fuel gauge, then your speedometer, tachometer, and your voltage again. This does have a stereo. It's kind of, like I said, it's kind of like the Vision, where it's decent. Not necessarily anything I want or anything like that, but it's kind of similar to the Vision in that it's there, and not exactly as good as the Harley. Definitely the Harley has the superior audio system. So here we go. Just like the Vision, this engine seems like it is trying too hard. Like there's just not enough power. I don't know why. That's how I'm feeling right now, is that this particular bike does not have very good power. And I mean, they said get it up to 3,000 RPMs to shift. So I'm going a little bit slower than that right now, but just doesn't feel right for some reason. I mean, I've string her out too a couple of times on the Vision. It's the same way. It just kind of feels absent. Let's see. And stop right here. Now this one, unlike the Vision, has a fixed windshield. Okay. I don't know what was going on there. But anyway, this one has a fixed windshield on it. It doesn't move up and down. It does have some storage containers in the left and right leg protectors, wind blocks. So it's got some decent little storage. Has quite a bit in the back. This one can hold quite a bit in the trunk. 2 full face helmets, quite a few bags. This is the bike that they say has the most amount of storage space per any tourer. Now I don't know if they've done anything to the exhaust on this, but this actually sounds pretty good for a stock exhaust. Sounds actually really good. Nice little rumble on it. Okay, go ahead and stop. Just like the Vision, this one's pretty well balanced. It's not like the Harley where it feels so top heavy it's scary, but it is a really well balanced bike. That's one thing Victory I think does right, is they do the balance pretty decent. Floorboards are nice and long, just like the Vision. Covered in rubber, you don't feel as much vibes going through them. Just like the Vision, this one does have the bar ends and stuff like that to counter vibration. So you do get that. Yeah, this thing just doesn't, I don't know why, I just don't feel like it's got the power the Harley did. I know that was the 110, but I have a 103 on the Fat Bob, and it still feels like it's got more. And this bike and the Fat Bob weigh around the same, 720, 750 pounds, depending. Now, my wife is on the back of this one as well, that she was on the Vision. The Vision she didn't like so much. She said the bottom end was comfortable, but the top end was not comfortable. Same with this one, apparently, is what she said. The bottom end's just fine, but apparently the backrest is horrible. So for now, on the baggers, the Roadmaster, or the Touring, I should say, the Roadmaster and the Road Glide from Indian is winning this race. Yeah, this thing just, I mean, it has decent power, but it's not like, it doesn't throw you back that much. I mean, it just doesn't feel like a Harley does. It doesn't feel like that. It's got that low end torque. Feels like it's a little bit more mid-range or something, and doesn't quite have the feeling. I mean, it just doesn't feel as powerful. It just feels like it lacks a little bit of something. But I mean, overall for the rider, at least this bike is comfortable. Suspension's really compliant. Like I said, no vibrations really transferring to you anywhere on the bike, not the feet, not the hands. I know I'd like a heel toe shifter for a tourer because of the large floorboards and things like that, but you know, they just don't have it. But it's okay to have that single regular type shifter. I don't mind that at all. Just like the Vision, because I mean these are very similar bikes in terms of the engine and transmission. The engine braking is pretty good. Does just fine. Okay, also up in here, I forgot to mention on the LCD screen they've got here, it has the well, yeah, we're supposed to stay in line and he just refuses to do that. And now he's not even in a stagger. Technically, I'm supposed to be in that area, so I'm staggering myself. You gotta love when people are told to do something, they just don't want to do it. They don't want to comply. They think the world is theirs. Anyway, I mean, okay, back to the display here. You do get a, just like on the Vision, on the big part here on the LCD, you do get a gear counter. Tells you where you are on that. This one also gives you the temperature of the outside air. Right now it's 89 degrees, so I was about right. And you get a coarser clock. Gauges are really easy to read because they're white, so you get that white on black background. I mean, overall, it just feels like a Victory, you know. After riding the Vision, I'm kind of getting an idea of how Victories feel. I mean, if I ride another Victory, I'm pretty sure it's going to feel exactly like this one. It's kind of like Harley. You get one Harley and you pretty much will feel them all, except for the Sportster in the street that are a little bit different in the V-Rod. But when you get anything that's got the 103 in it, they're pretty much all going to be the same. One of them is going to be a little bit smaller or more narrow, but other than that, your feeling and overall riding impression are going to be pretty much the same. The power of the engine's going to be the same and all that. So when it comes down to it, as a touring bike, you got plenty of room to store your gear in this thing, just like the Vision, just like the Indian Roadmaster, but it just doesn't feel as refined as the Roadmaster. Roadmaster had quite a bit more features. This particular bike is right at $20,000, just like the Vision. So, I mean, overall, it's a good price tourer. It's not as expensive as Harley's for sure, but you know, it just feels kind of incomplete, is how I'll put it. The Harley feels like a solid, complete bike. The Victory so far, and the Indian feels like a solid, complete bike. The Indian, or the Victories, are kind of feeling like they're being left behind for Polaris to do a little bit more with the Indians or something. So I would say that, you know, if you're looking for a tourer, you're looking for a nice, you know, bagger or tourer that can carry a lot of gear, definitely look at the cross country. But as for me, it's just not my cup of tea. It just doesn't feel quite right, not as refined as I'd like it to be. And that comes from a guy that rides Harleys that supposedly vibrate your fillings out. So anyway, this is the Rabid Hedgehog. If you have any more questions about the Victory cross-country tour, just let me know in the comments below. Catch you on the flip side.